Hi, and welcome to my presentation on pen pals. And my topic was pen pal letter exchanges in the foreign language classroom. And I was looking to see if it would increase confidence and motivation for my 8th graders. My question was, how will pen pal letter exchanges affect levels of confidence and motivation in the middle school Spanish classroom? I looked at which perceptions had changed the most, how comfortable students became using the target language, and how well they were able to apply their skills. And I figured that if the pen pal letter exchanges were not overwhelming, that the students would feel successful, and this would lead to improvements in all 3 dimensions. You're a jerk. Literature review. Literature review. One of my inspirations was Pen Pal Letter Exchanges, Taking First Steps Towards Developing Cultural Understandings by Mary Alice Barksdale. One quote that I really liked from her was, "It is essential that schools support children in developing productive and meaningful relationships with others at home and around the world." And I was hoping that through the writing, the students it would help with their literacy. The letters would be interdisciplinary, and students would be having rich personal experiences with other children from a culture unlike their own. And these are all little points that I took from Mary Alice's piece, and it resonated with me. Another piece of work that I read was Create a Digital World, 5 Steps to Engage Students in Multicultural Learning. And that was by Max Friedel and Terry Lovelace. And in this article, they said that generally students write only for one audience, and that's the teacher, which I feel is true to my classroom. Students want to get to know each other personally, and again, they said that digitally, when kids write emails to each other with another student from another country, they would incorporate different disciplines, so they might talk about weather, their population and community, and different holiday and life events. The school that I contacted was a school down in Guatemala, and I used epals.com, and it's pretty easy to set up. You just set up an account and you post a little advertisement as to what you're looking for. So I posted a little advertisement, and I said that I have 2 8th grade Spanish classrooms, and I was looking to set up a relationship with someone that was looking to set up a relationship with students that are about the same age, 12 to 14 years old. I had to ask permission to do this action research, so I sent a letter home to parents explaining the pen pals and also my research. And I had to meet with Brad St. Laurent, our principal, with the explanation of my research, asking permission, and also permission to do the pen pals. I gave questionnaires to the students even before they started writing to their pen pals, and I asked them to rate their confidence in reading, writing, vocabulary, and grammar skills, and also what they felt their level of knowledge of Hispanic culture was. I also asked them to rate their interest and importance in learning Spanish and learning about Hispanic culture and the usefulness of Spanish language and culture. In question 1, 2, 3, 4, I asked them, how would you rate your reading? How would you rate your writing? How would you rate your vocabulary? And how would you rate your grammar skills? As you can see in all 3 of them, the students felt as if they were pretty good. 20 students here said that they were pretty good in reading, 26 in writing, 31 said they were pretty good in vocabulary and grammar. 17 students said that they were pretty good. This is out of 42 students. The permission slips that I received from parents, there were some parents that said that they did not want their child to be included in this research, so they're not included in this number. So it's out of 42 students. Grammar skills, that one's pretty high right there. 18 students said that they were just okay. The highest would be reading skills. 10 students said that they would be excellent. They are excellent readers. At the end of the pen pal activity, I gave the questionnaire again, and I asked students to rate their reading skills. In reading, it went up for the excellent category. It went down where students said that they were pretty good. Just okay went down as well. So these numbers here, they could have hopped into the excellent category. How would you rate your writing skills in Spanish? In the second questionnaire, the students, this jumped up from 7 to 10. This went down. 26 to 20 students said they were pretty good. And just okay went from 9 to 12. So it seems like a few more said that they were excellent, a few more said that they were okay, and the numbers probably came from the pretty good category. How would you rate your vocabulary skills? You can see that in the first one it was 27 for the first questionnaire. By the second questionnaire it was 18. More students either said it was pretty good or more students said that it was excellent. By questionnaire 2 for grammar skills, the number for excellent stayed the same. Pretty good jumped up, and less students said it was just okay. These graphs here, how would you rate your interest in learning the Spanish language, and how would you rate your knowledge of Hispanic culture? So this is the first questionnaire, second questionnaire, first questionnaire, second questionnaire. So how would you rate your interest in learning Spanish? The first questionnaire, 33% of the kids said it was excellent, and by the second questionnaire, it went up 3%, and pretty good, this jumped up to 50%. So those students saying that their interest in Spanish was just okay or not good, that dropped. Your interest in Hispanic culture, it was, the majority was just okay, 45% of the kids, and it jumped up in the second questionnaire to 48%. This I thought was pretty interesting. I believe that learning the Spanish language is very important, sort of important, less important, or not important at all. The first questionnaire students said that it was very important. By the second, after the pen pal activity, and they took their second questionnaire, it jumped up to 30 students. Less students by the second questionnaire said it was sort of important. By the second questionnaire, it jumped up to 6. And then this here, very few students here, I feel, said that learning about Hispanic culture was very important. And it seemed like they still stayed right around that. It's sort of important or less important. The usefulness of knowing the Hispanic culture and language. The language, most of the kids said it's very useful, whereas learning about Hispanic culture is just kind of sort of useful or not really useful at all. Some different trends when I first asked the students to write their pen pal letters. They would ask me how to say words and phrases. A few students grabbed textbooks to look up information, and most students grabbed dictionaries and used notes after I asked them to go ahead and get them. 2 students asked me how to put a verb in the past tense, and all the students were very eager to begin writing, and they did not need reminders to stay on task. Waiting for our letters, it took a while. It took 6 to 8 weeks. I'd have to look at my notes. 6 to 8 weeks for the letters to arrive, and it seemed like every week a student was asking me, when are we going to get those letters? When the letters finally arrived, the students were very animated and enthusiastic to read their letters. The students shared their letters with the person sitting next to them. Some of them kind of sped through and found little points to talk to their partner about, and others, they'd stop and tell the partner next to them what their pen pal wrote, and vice versa. Students wanted to know more information about their pen pal. The letters sparked their curiosity. How much homework do you think they will get? How are the pen pals going to celebrate their Easter? It was Easter time when we were going to write our second letters. Do they play video games? How come we had to write a whole page and they didn't? And do they have Facebook? Can we friend them? Our letters back to Guatemala, this class brainstormed topics, and I offered suggestions for words to look up for vocabulary and then verbs. I gave it to them in English, and then they had to go look for the Spanish. Almost all the students had a dictionary or a textbook as a reference, and the students wanted to know more about their pen pals' daily lives. What does this mean for me? Most students feel pretty confident with their skills, with the exception of grammar. The largest difference I found in the data was between questionnaire 1 and questionnaire 2, and that was in vocabulary skills. 9 students said that it was just pretty good. In the category for both excellent and just okay, it gained students possibly from the pretty good category, so it dropped down. What does this all mean to me? Students see less importance in learning about the culture than the language. It is 8th grade, so they want to be able to listen to songs and music and go out shopping and hear the Spanish. They don't really care so much as to what's going on in different parts of the world. 83% of the students said in questionnaire 2 that Spanish was very useful, whereas 48, almost half of the students said that learning about Hispanic culture is not really useful. A little bit about the process. There were students that were absent because of a stomach bug that was going around, so I had to wait to send out our first letters. PTS3 standardized testing, mixed up scheduling for foreign language for about 3 weeks. So during that time we did a study on Spanish-speaking countries, and that there may have had a little bit of an influence on their view of culture, and I'm not exactly sure if it did have an influence. I didn't test that. Some recommendations: determine the desired amount of time. When do you want to start them? Know your student's ability. Decide if you want to do it by snail mail or by email, and figure in the mailing time and response time. And this is my contact information. I'm at the Woodbury School in Salem, New Hampshire, and my email is my name, vanessa.bentley@sau57.org. Are there any questions?
What did the parents give as an excuse for not being part of the pen pal program?
On the back of the permission slip, it was, yes, I will allow my child to participate in the research, or no, I will not allow my child to participate. But there was also a box that they checked off, but I would like them to participate in the pen pals. So there were some parents that said, my student can do the pen pals, but I do not want them to be part of the research. Which was kind of surprising to me. Yes, Nancy?
Are the kids interested in continuing their pen pal relationship?
Some students are, and I've given them the teacher's name down in Guatemala, and they can send it to her and she'll get them